Okay.
Hi there. For those that have joined already, it's about 6:07, so we'll get started in about 2 minutes. So just bear with us for the remainder of the individuals to join. Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's 7 o'clock right on. We'll just wait another 30 seconds for some of those that are still waiting in the waiting room to join us. We've got lots of people, so bear with us for just another half minute. Thank you. We're almost there. I'm just waiting for the cue from our technical person, Susan, to let me know that the waiting room is clear and we can start. Okay, great. It's 7:02, and looks like we're still letting some people in, but for the sake of time, we want to get started. First of all, just a huge welcome to everyone, and thank you for taking time on this Wednesday evening to join us, because there's lots of things to do, and we appreciate your time. Hi, I'm Scott Stewart, and I'm president of Blows and Stewart Travel Group. And with me tonight are Dana Empey, who is vice president, and Rob Blows, who is vice president as well. The format for tonight, we're each going to speak for approximately 10 minutes, and we're trying to get through a lot of the different subject matter that we wanted to update as many clients as possible. And one of the great things as well is we had asked when you registered, if you had any specific questions to ask, go ahead and do that, and we would work that into each one of our presentations. So Dana is going to talk about suppliers and some of the aspects that are going on in the current day-to-day world. And Rob is going to talk about government restrictions and what we're seeing and where we think some of that's going to go for both the short and the long haul. And I'm going to speak first, and I'm going to talk about trends, different things we're seeing, also talk about our charter program, and try to answer as many questions as we can. You'll notice also that we've got this as a webinar, so any questions that you have, please put it in the chat box or the Q&A, whichever shows up on your screen. And we will endeavor to answer those after we've spoken for the last 15 minutes of the presentation. If we are unable to get to the hundreds of questions that may come out, we will certainly return those by written email as well. So thank you. And you know, this will be recorded. So if you like what you hear and you want to share it, just pass along our website, And under our YouTube channel, you will be able to see this and all of our other live video chats to be able to educate and keep yourselves up to date with a lot of the things that are going on. On behalf of Dana, Rob, and I know we want to thank each and every one of you for joining, but we also do know that we've got many clients that are on this video chat as well from all over the province of Ontario. And we just want to welcome to the BST family, CWT Burlington clients, CWT Mississauga and Oakville clients, and CWT Carleton Place clients who have now joined our great family. Couple of things that I'll start off with is some trends. And what we're seeing from our advisors is that it's a whole spectrum of product that people are already starting to buy, that people are questioning, that people are asking for more information. And that goes right through from combinations of all-inclusive, simple packages to the Caribbean, to just park your butt on a beach and enjoy a great book, to all sorts of both ocean cruising, river cruising, which we're going to talk a little bit more about as the evening goes on as well. But also, and more importantly, we're starting to see more of bucket list trends as well as exotic, South America, Pacific. And there's a new term that you may have heard already, and it is a real term, and it's called revenge travel. And it may be talked about a couple of different times tonight. And what that means is that, you know, we've been stuck at home now for 14, almost 15 months. And by the time this is going to be over, it's going to be a few more months yet. So revenge travel is, I'm going to go where I want to go, when I want to go, how I want to go. And I want to make sure that if it's the lap of luxury, then I'm going to make sure that I'm going to treat myself and my family and my partner the way that we've expected over this crazy pandemic. We're also seeing a lot of individuals who have future travel credits or vouchers that are starting to investigate where they can and how they would redeem those. So we're seeing that. But more importantly, although Canada right now alone has over $1 billion in quote currency with future travel credits, we're seeing a lot of bookings and a lot of deposits that are new bookings that are not attached to a voucher in any way at all. We're also, you've heard in the news regarding Air Canada and Air Canada Vacations, also the deal with our federal government specific to Air Canada and the refunds. You may hear some of this a little bit more in this conversation as well, but there is the opportunity, if you wish, to refund a future travel credit. But please keep in mind that the dates are triggered so that the applications go forward. They will be redeemed, but that could take months. And we're cautioning those that want to travel and use their future travel credit that if they're planning on traveling either in Q4 of 2021 or first or second quarter of 2022, it may still be in your best interest just to keep your future travel credit. Because if your future travel credit is in limbo and it's in the process and it's in the queue waiting to be paid and you want to travel, you would have to pay again and be reimbursed once your original future travel credit comes to you. So just little things to keep in mind, but we're seeing a lot of that as it goes now. We're also seeing and hearing the USA is already up to 60% domestic travel pre-COVID, and that is great information that they're traveling within the US. But we're seeing steady incline with both USA, some parts of Asia, and some parts of Europe as well, where their travel is starting to increase as well and coming up to a lot of those same numbers. What does that mean when it comes to us as Canadians who still have many restrictions in place? Our vaccines are a little bit behind the majority of the G countries that we participate with. And how is that going to affect supply and demand? Well, we can tell you right now, the supply is not going to equate or equal the demand that's going to be there. So the first and foremost thing that we can suggest to any of our clients, if you are planning or want to travel in Q4, Q1, 2, 3, 4 of 2022, and in 2023, you need to start looking at that now, or you will be disappointed. A couple of things that we already know. There will be an issue with lift. When I mean lift, I mean aircraft capacity. We know that there's still a lot of airplanes sitting. United Airlines just announced this week that their first quarter was 1.4 billion debt. So we know that there won't be an influx of aircraft commercially coming back into the airspace anytime soon. They will have to build up to that. So you may find that we can book hotels and different such. We may have problems getting you to those destinations. So keep all of that in mind as well. Also, a perfect example is regarding a specific exclusive charter that Dana and Rob are going to talk about a little bit later. But we've chartered an entire river ship. We couldn't get a ship until April of 2023 where we could take the entire thing. So we're already seeing issues with trying to get product for those that want to travel. Another great thing that has been happening more recently, but we've talked about it throughout the past 12 months during the COVID, we truly do believe that our true partners and those that we are going to want to move forward with from a supplier standpoint are working with them, and we're working collectively. We're building IT platforms. We're upgrading our services so that you, the customer, can access our product easier, more efficiently, as well as book and make those reservations a lot more efficiently. Regarding our charters, just real quickly, because I've only got about 2 more minutes here. We are so proud of our charters and what we were able to create and think outside of the box for the Peterborough Airport. And we were expanding in 2020 before the pandemic to the Barrie Simcoe Airport as well, and offering our Thursday to Sunday departures direct nonstop from those gateways. Obviously, 2020 was canceled. 2021, the first part of that, our season has also been canceled. We will make a decision by the end of May regarding our departures for September and October, specifically out of Peterborough and Barrie airports. But the great news on all of that is our team, our charter team, is working diligently on 2022. And we're hoping to announce our entire slate of product and destinations the end of May, the first part of June of this year for 2022, which will give everyone ample and plenty of time. The other thing that our team's looking at are other airport departure points. And some of those are London Gateway, as well as Hamilton Gateway, as well as Ottawa Gateway. So for all of those customers that are in any of those other areas that we're looking at, please fire us off an email. Let us know if there's any other airports of interest or where we can start to investigate, because we do feel, as part of our strategy, the BST vacations team and our whole charter philosophy, that private charters out of smaller regional airports with safety and health all as the #1 concern will be more popular than ever. And we have to remember too that Peterborough and Barrie, as far as we know, according to Google, are still the only full drive-through check-in from your car airports anywhere in the world. We're also excited too that within those charter programs, we offer smaller groups. So bring a group of people, you want to do your own thing, we can plan something different within that same 4-day period. If you've got new destinations or you've got any ideas, fire those off to us as well. And we'd love to hear from you. So that's the update I wanted to provide, but we're diligently working and we're honestly, we're still glad to be here, and we're still glad that our consumer and client base is supporting us so wonderfully through this whole pandemic. Rob, you're up.
Well, thanks, Scott. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight and taking the time out of your evening. It is snowing, so being on this call is probably better than being outside tonight. One of the good things we can say, at least in Stratford here where I am, it's been snowing for a while. Glad to see that gone pretty soon. But we're going to talk about traveling other places. But part of my chat tonight is really about some of the government regulations, and you know, it's been a real challenge, obviously, with our the protocols and rules that are put in place. And there's been a lot of questions about you know, what are we going to need for documentation or vaccinations, et cetera, moving forward. So basically, we've all read this week, I believe, or you've probably all seen it in the news. The government of Canada has extended the border closure to end of May, late May. We now have inter-provincial border closures right at the moment. Right now, Ontario is basically locked down. And some of the other travel bubbles within Canada that were going to open, the Atlantic bubble, that is sort of shut down temporarily as well. When we go through this little third, I shouldn't say little, this third wave, hoping it's short-lived. But so these are some of the challenges, you know, facing the industry right now. And we still have a quarantine requirement when re-entering Canada. So for those that do leave the country, and when you come back, you've got this quarantine situation where you've got the 3-night hotel stay mandatory, quasi-mandatory, because I understand there's some loopholes and people are buying their way out of it. But we're supposed to quarantine for 3 days and then go home and finish your 14-day quarantine. So there was an announcement today that the Prime Minister said that could be extended as well. As far as I know, the quarantine has been extended and there may be some further restrictions put on. So we only hope that those are short-term things that they have to deal with just to get us through this third and hopefully final wave of COVID. We can all get vaccinated and put this behind us. So we're constantly on top of this. We have actually subscribed to a service where we get a daily update. We can look up basically any destination in the world and tell you what their protocols are. So, you know, most countries still require that you have a negative COVID-19 test before you enter their country. Of course, the airline's going to ask you for proof before they board you in Toronto, or right now you can only really get on in Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, and Calgary. So that's probably going to continue for quite some time. I can imagine that might be the case for a year. The vaccination rollout in Canada has been, you know, it's good, then it's bad, then it's good, then it's bad. And we can only imagine in some countries that they're really struggling to get vaccines. So it's going to be a while in some of those countries. So, you know, hopefully when we're vaccinated, that will be great. But so some of those rules are going to be different for various countries. There has been some talk about a vaccine passport moving forward, and you read different articles about that, and there's some privacy issues that people are raising about a vaccine passport. There's various different vaccines for COVID, unlike I say a yellow fever or some other diseases that you would be vaccinated against. So the efficacy of these vaccines aren't the same. So, you know, what one country might say AstraZeneca is fine, another country might say it's not. So there's some issues to work out for that. So I see that being a ways off, and we're probably just going to be dealing with COVID test results and vaccination certificates as proof moving forward. But you know, that's our job. That's what we do. We live it, breathe it every day. And just as we would advise you what travel documents you need. We're going to advise you what health documents you need. That's our job. So, you know, we don't mind doing it because we want to know ourselves, because there's lots of these people haven't been traveling. I couldn't tell you what the restrictions are if you're going to go to Croatia right now. I want, you know, so if you want to go to Croatia, give me a call. I'd love to look it up because I do want to know. But we have that information at our fingertips. Now, having said that, there are a number of countries, and I have a list here. So forgive me while I read my list, because there are a number of countries that you can travel if you have been fully vaccinated. And they may or may not require a COVID test before you go. But I'm just going to read some of them, and this list changes every day. But just so you know, you can go somewhere. Seychelles, Iceland, Belize, Ecuador, Georgia, Guatemala, Croatia, Montenegro, Greece, Estonia, Poland, Romania, Slovenia, Thailand coming in July, and Hawaii sometime this summer. So those are countries that are accepting fully vaccinated passengers. So I don't know, not too many in Canada have been fully vaccinated. Many, many Americans have. And like Scott said, the Americans are really starting to book now because they have the vaccines and they have clearance to go. So it's making it a lot easier for them to go. So just to keep that in mind. Cruises now. So we've talked about, Dana's going to talk about some suppliers, but the US, the main cruise lines, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, etc., Princess, still cannot sail out of the US. And they're fighting Congress on this. The state of Florida is suing the CDC for approval to be able to begin sailing out of the US. So the cruise lines have said, well, I'm going to set up shop. I'm going to sail from Bermuda. I'm going to sail from Barbados and various ports in the Caribbean and Europe. But they're only accepting fully vaccinated passengers. And of course, all their crew has been fully vaccinated. So there are restrictions, but you can go. Not so great for Canadians because we're not fully vaccinated. Plus we'd have a quarantine issue, but these are the things that are starting to happen. The cruise lines are just starting to say, listen, we can't sit here with these billion-dollar cruise ships not doing anything. And there are lots of people around the world that have been vaccinated. So just keep that in mind that's happening. Airline protocol. So again, airlines, like Scott said, because the demand has ramped up in the US, some of the airlines have been holding back middle seats, not assigning. That's over. So the demand is there. So they are filling their planes. However, having said that, they have spent multi-millions of dollars upgrading their protocols for cleaning these planes and air circulation, contactless check-in, contactless baggage check, all kinds of safety protocols within the airports as well. So, air travel, it's going to be an adjustment, just like it was at 9/11 when we had to start taking our shoes and belts off and couldn't take a bottle of water with us. So we'll adjust to this, and we'll be better for it in the long run. Things will be much cleaner. Similar with hotels, hotel chains and airlines both have partnered with large companies like Ecolab on cleaning supplies. So they've got these partnership deals. They're sponsoring hotel rooms. They'll clean your room. They'll give you cleaning supplies in your room. They'll give you the Lysol wipes and that kind of thing. The maid won't come in for 2 days, 3 days, just to keep, if you're there for a longer stay, unless you really need something. They just want to minimize contact. Many of the hotels now have smartphone apps like Hilton. You can put your reservation on your smartphone app. You don't have to check in at the front desk. You just check in on your app. It tells you what your room number is. You can go right to your room, open your room with your phone app. I've done it before. It's pretty slick. So all these things that have made it a lot easier for you to check in and not really have to deal with contact. Car rentals are doing the same thing. So lots of great protocols there. I also wanted to talk about insurance. So this would be my last little segment here. So, and I see something in the chat about out-of-country medical coverage. So with insurance, I just want to go back and just give you a bit of history on the last year with insurance claims. So we had many people took the travel voucher, so they didn't have a claim. But we had well over 350 claims submitted to Manulife, who's our insurance supplier. We have one left that's not paid. I think it's just pending some information. So it's not like it was declined or anything, it's just pending. So it's taken a year. And thanks for your patience for any of you that did have claims, but we're down to one, which is great news. So this hit the insurance industry obviously hard as well. They had 3 years claims in 1 year, equivalent in 1 year. So it was a massive undertaking for them as well to ramp up staffing and get this all figured out. But thankfully, they're also very generous, where those of you that accepted future travel credits, they will allow us to move your insurance policy to your new travel dates. So you're not losing your premium. We're moving it to your new dates. And if you have to buy more insurance because your next trip you decide you're going to splurge and go first class and spend more money, and we want to insure it, they're going to insure it at 2019 premiums, not 2021 or 22 premiums for you. So that's a great bonus too. So they were very, it was very difficult at the beginning while we waded through this. But we're now getting to the point where I think we're getting some normal on the insurance. So they do have COVID-19 medical coverage that you can purchase. There are some limitations on it, but it does allow you to travel during COVID and have some medical coverage. COVID-19 is still not covered under the cancellation protection on the plans. If you were to get COVID before you go, that's a medical claim. And yes, you can claim that before you go. But because there's COVID in your destination or whatnot, that is not claimable at the moment. But I am told there's some new products about a month from going to market. And there could be some interesting products there that will help people make it a little easier, make it more comfortable to travel. I'm just, I don't think I have anything else on the insurance, but just keep that in mind. Your travel advisor is going to review any insurance with you when you travel. Many of you might have an insurance through your benefit plan at work or credit card coverage. There are gaps in those coverages. So, and even Dana's going to talk about the suppliers and their flexible booking plans, and they've got some waivers that you can purchase. But waivers are not insurance. So we while those are a really good idea to purchase, there are gaps. And again, part of our job is to advise you and give you all of the information that you need moving forward. So we're happy to talk to you about any insurance that might be involved in your trip, but it should be one of the first things you think about when you're planning your travel. So I'm going to come back and talk a little later after Dana's done talking, but I'll pass it over to Dana.
Great. Thanks, Rob. Hi, everybody. Great to have you with us tonight. I'm just looking at one comment here in the chats, which kind of starts off my section. COVID's exposed the good, the bad, the ugly, and has taught us a lot of different ways of doing things, which has kind of been our entire 14 months of totally different ways of doing things. What has it taught you? The one thing that it has taught us with is to align ourselves with great suppliers that have your back, great suppliers that have our back, and great suppliers that are just willing to work with us. We're nothing without our suppliers. So, we've always had wonderful relationships with our suppliers, but I would say they're probably even more so. We're just kindred spirits because we've really all survived this last 14 months at this time. So that's kind of been one thing that it has taught us, that we will continue those relationships, and even more so, it's taught us that they're very, very important moving forward. So talking about suppliers, Air Canada Vacations and Air Canada, as everybody's aware, has came out with through the federal government by bailout that they are going to be refunding customers in full who have traveled from February of last year to April the 13th, who have had to cancel their plans. We're able to move forward with air onlys, package vacations, and we're able to move forward with processing refunds. As you can imagine, it's been very busy the last week since that was announced, and but it's a win-win for the consumer. Absolutely, it's a fantastic thing. But the interesting thing is we've also had a lot of customers want to keep their credit. They know that they want to travel in the next 4, 5, 6 months. And so they're saying, no, I'm just going to keep it into a credit. I can't wait to get away. I don't want a refund. I've been 16, 18 months out of pocket now anyway. So I'm going to keep it as a credit. So we're kind of finding a combination of both, that some are wanting refunds and some are happy to keep it as a credit because they know they're going somewhere. Rumor on the street is that the federal government is also speaking with Transat and WestJet. We have no further information on if there's going to be a similar bailout for them, and what does that look like from a refund standpoint for WestJet and Transat. It's pretty much up in the air, but I'm sure there's going to be something coming to fruition at some point. So that's the airlines. The cruise lines, we had a couple of questions come in advance about the cruise lines. The cruise lines are chomping at the bit to start sailing. And as Rob said, they're reinventing themselves. They're not just sticking to Florida anymore to do cruises out of. They're doing cruises out of Bermuda, Antigua, Barbados. They're looking at another way to get people on board the ships. There are a lot of really great deals out there with the cruise lines right now. Cruising is almost becoming all-inclusive because all of the cruise lines are bringing and adding in special perks. So, you purchase your balcony cabin and basically you get a drink package, a Wi-Fi package, free gratuities, free tours, depending on the cruise line. So they're offering a lot of value adds for the consumer right now. And funny enough, cruises has probably been one of our most popular to book in the last few months. Cruises, people love cruising, and if you're a cruiser, you're a cruiser. And that's probably one of the first travel products that we've started to see come back the most. And it doesn't matter if it's Celebrity, Holland America, Royal Caribbean, some of the other ones like Crystal and Oceania, they're all offering deals and specials right now. But here's the great part with cruising. In 80% of the cases, your deposit is always refundable. So if you are itching to get something planned and you want to go next year, you have nothing to lose. Let's look at it. Let's see where you want to go. And you throw your deposit down, which usually is anywhere from $150 to $500 per person. And your deposit is fully refundable until final payment, which is 90 days before travel. So it's kind of a no-win situation. It's a win-win situation. You have nothing to lose because your deposit is refundable. So, if it's next year that you're wanting to travel, I would be taking advantage of all these amazing free value add perks that are happening with cruising right now, because they are wanting to get people back on their ships and they're wanting to get sailing again. Our wholesalers like Air Transat and Air Canada Vacations, WestJet, travel brands, they've all been doing a really great job knowing that they need to be absolutely flexible for the consumer. Years and years ago, if you didn't purchase cancellation insurance and you weren't able to go, you were out of luck. There was no flexibility. You couldn't change your dates. You were out of luck unless you had insurance. Now, they're being very flexible. They're allowing people to change dates, change destinations, because they're offering their own type of insurance. So these two wholesalers are offering these flex insurances where you can cancel. I'll give you an example with Air Canada Vacations. You can right now, this insurance is free. So you're not even paying for it. Typically it's $99 per person. And you can cancel your trip up until 5 days before you go for any reason. They don't care. You can cancel it 5 days before you go, and you get either all of your money back if it's a new booking, or if you've used an FTC for this booking, then all that money just goes back into an FTC. But they're trying to be as flexible as they can. They want to get people traveling again. They want to get people feeling comfortable with traveling again. And this flexibility that they're offering now is really fantastic, because honestly, we never had it before. They were always so restrictive with us and with you. So they're really doing a great job. Early booking bonus discounts are out right now, to basically encompassing travel all the way to next April and May. The coach companies are offering special early booking bonus discounts. The river cruises, basically majority of them have their pricing out for 2023. So everyone's doing a lot of new things that they weren't thinking that far ahead. But that's kind of what is happening now with this third wave. 2021, people probably aren't going to start truly traveling until late fall. We've been making bookings for December, we've been making bookings for Christmas, and lots of bookings for January, February, and March. People need and want something to look forward to. I get it. I'm chomping at the bit too. So, the wholesalers are really doing a good job at being flexible. And, who knows when this is going to be over, but at least having the flexibility to know that you can get your money back, or you can change your dates, or you can change your destinations is huge. That's the stuff that makes us sleep at night. Okay, back to you, Rob. Oh, Rob, you're muted.
How many times have you told me that this year? Rob, you're muted.
Yep.
Yep, sorry about that. Okay, well, thanks, Dana. That's a great update. And I just wanted to touch a little bit on some of our tours that we have in the works right now, and then we'll revert back to our big announcement at the end here. But Scott had alluded to that earlier about our charter program. So on top of the charter program that we are working on and looking to expand, we have lots of other great tours. We've had some tours in 2021 that we've had to move to 2022 that were to go this spring for obvious reasons that we had to change. But we have a lot on the go for 22 already, and some in 23. So I just wanted to go through a bit of a list here of what we have on the books, and because some of these may interest you. We're updating our website regularly with all of these tours, but you can reach out to any of our advisors if any of these destinations sounds like something you might be interested in. So again, I'm going to read from my list because there's a few of them here. But so I just mentioned the 21 tours moved to 22. We've had a few of those happen, but so one of those was Newfoundland. So we had planned to go this June, but that's not going to happen. So we've moved that over to 23. And we've actually put a second departure on, and we've already sold a bunch of seats on that one. So we expect Newfoundland to be crazy busy next year. If you're not booking Newfoundland this summer for next summer, you're not getting a car rental, you're not getting a hotel room. I can tell you that right now. So we have space on our tour. So give us a call if you're interested in that. So we also have a couple on the go here for Croatia, which is a very popular destination, up and coming. Well, at least it was before COVID hit, but we expect it to pick up right where it left off. So we have a ladies only tour that's going to be going to Croatia. And we're also looking at a private yacht charter. So this is like 30 people max on a private yacht. So doing those beautiful Croatian islands. So give us a call if you're interested in something like that. You can take your whole family there, and you can have this whole ship, your own little private travel bubble if you wanted. So our Mekong, we have which is going in February of 2022. We have 2 cabins remaining on our tour, so that's going very well. So if you're interested in Asia, Southeast Asia, give us a call on that. So again, we've got a group on this beautiful river cruise. It's also with Emerald, and keep us in mind there. We have a Scotland tour. We have Spain and Portugal, which is kind of like got an agricultural slant to that tour. So we're going to do some really neat agricultural tours on that. Tahiti in the South Pacific. Sounds good to me. Curacao in the Caribbean. So if you're interested in the Dutch Caribbean, we have a hospital fundraising cruise supporting the Belleville Hospital and Foundation, and that is going in February, I believe. And that's selling very well. Our prices are 35% below market right now on our cruise package there. So give us a call there. That's an inclusive package, includes flight, hotel, and cruise. Great deal. That's on our website. Western Canada tour with the Rocky Mountaineer and Via Rail as that tour. That's gonna be really interesting. If you're a train buff, you might want to consider that as well. And again, staying within Canada, if you're not comfortable leaving, no quarantines required. Let's hope there's no quarantine for next year, but if there is, it's a great option. We have 2 trips to South Africa next fall, with some limited seating on both of those. Great destination. I'm escorting one of those, and it'll be my 4th time to South Africa. Fantastic destination and great value. Dana's put together a group for March break next year for Cuba. So if anybody's interested, now we do have a deadline coming up this weekend, I think, Dana, if anybody's interested in that. Great for your family if you're looking for a March break getaway for next year. Of course, our big 2023 group is our river cruise in Europe. So Dana, I'll let you kick that one off.
Great. So about 10 days ago, we launched a charter. 2 years ago, the Blows family took a charter out of the Western Ontario, and they traveled over to Northern France, chartered 90% of the river cruise, and had lots of clients and family and friends join the Blows family doing that. That fall, Scott and I and the Stewart family and clients and family and friends, we actually chartered an entire river cruise ship and did the Douro River in Portugal. Had a blast, had so much fun. It's such an experience when you're actually taking over the whole boat. We ruled, and it was wonderful. But it's taking that whole river cruise level to another level. And Emerald and Scenic do such a great job with it. Pretty much everything is included: transportation from your homes, your flights. We look after everything, pre's and posts, premium beverage packages on board. And this year we have chartered for 2023. We just launched it 10 days ago. It's already 45% sold out. And we had originally just kind of marketed it to the people who had traveled with us a couple of years ago. But as of today, right, fellas? As of today, it is basically being launched to our entire database. And we would love you to come and join us. It's traveling to the south of France. So it is traveling out of Lyon all the way down through the wine region. And we basically are taking over the whole ship. It's going to be great. April 1st to the 8th. We're looking at a pre-stay in Lyon for a couple of days for everybody to get climatized. And then a few different posts we're looking at, potentially Marseille, Nice. So it's going to really be a fantastic trip. It's a really active trip. And I think that was the thing that really drew all of us in, that this particular itinerary is very active. They give you the option of hiking. They give you an option of biking between villages. You can canoe, you can fish. Lots of walking tours, really unique things to see. So you can be as active as you want, but then you can actually see all these wonderful historic UNESCO sites all the way along the river. And of course, drinking lots of lovely French wines along the river as well as we go and travel. I saw a question here asking how cruise lines are going to handle buffet dining. I know in particular on the river cruises, because they're smaller. This particular one that we've chartered is 132 passengers. And what they're doing is they're still offering buffet dining, but there will be staff stationed at the buffet and will actually be serving you. From what we're hearing for the larger commercial cruise lines, that's what they're going to be doing as well. But we also know that some of the cruise lines are actually changing over their buffet restaurants to more of a la carte dining as well. So they're still giving people lots of options. But this river cruise is going to be phenomenal. If anybody is interested, please reach out. We've got some contact details for everybody at the end of the presentation. It's going to be wonderful. I love France, one of my favorite countries in Europe. And this particular itinerary just looks like it's full of a lot of wonderful options. So I'm very excited, and we would love to have as many of you join us as possible.
That's awesome. Thanks, Dana. Yeah, thanks, Rob. And it's not hard to tell that we're excited about chartering that vessel yet again. And you're going to notice that part of the Blows family and the Stewart family merging our businesses together is one massive strategy. We have enough clientele and enough volume that we can start to charter entire tented camps in Africa. We can charter river cruise ships in Mekong and Vietnam. And the same with Croatia with a private yacht. And what we're doing here with Emerald Cruises for a select 132 people to join Dana and Rob and their significant others on that particular cruise. And you will notice if you have checked or allowed us to email you through the database and you've given us permission, you would have received a copy of that brochure today in your inbox. If you have not, please visit our website because it went on our website today as well. As Dana mentioned, it was only offered to the 216 people that went on the 2 anniversary cruises for the first 10 days. We're now offering it to our clients and those new clients to our family now until April the 28th before we go to the rest of the world. And I do believe also on April the 28th, we're having a full online video presentation with Emerald Cruises, and they're going to go over the itinerary and the ship and all that kind of stuff. But keep in mind, with only 132 people, and it's virtually, well, over or half sold out, it doesn't leave a whole lot of cabins left. So that's great. Another couple of comments in there as well as a couple of things on that good, bad, and ugly scenario that we're going to see change forever, like we did in 9/11. And that's, you're going to see awareness, and everything is going to be more fluid than it's ever been before. Because as we learn more about this terrible virus, we will learn more, we will change more. To Dana's point, ocean vessels and river cruises are looking at putting their own labs in some cases on their vessels. They've got labs in every port of call that are specific to just their customer base. We're going to see different protocols and processes at airports, and certainly that's what's going to pique our love and our interest of smaller regional airports, is because we can facilitate it and have been for over 5 years on a complete touchless environment with VIP treatment. You'll also notice in trends moving forward that you will continue to see people work from home. And it's crazy how efficient we have our team members working from their home offices, and that will continue well into post-pandemic as well. For all I know, maybe it's going to be tough to get them all back into the offices to work. They may want to stay at home. But the other thing too, and I cannot emphasize enough, Rob, when he was talking about insurance, we've seen it firsthand. We've been living it for 14 months. And, you know, if we put this into perspective, that 350 claims or in excess of that, that was basically close to $1 million in travel that we've been working diligently with Manulife to recompensate all of our clients, and we're down to one. So that has been a mammoth undertaking, and kudos to our entire team and them working with you, our valued customers, to, you know, bear with us, do it. But we live and breathe insurance now. Insurance will be a significant component to every traveler's need going forward. Guys, if we want to answer any more of the questions, I know we've been kind of doing that as we've been going through. I know you guys are diligently watching. Are there any other major ones to answer?
There's a new one that actually just came in. Hi, Len. When do you anticipate Australia, New Zealand opening up? You can't apply for a visa at the moment, later this year. Honestly, no idea at this point. We do know that Australia and New Zealand is two of the countries that have done a really good job at the whole quarantine process and lockdowns and the way they've opened up. They've been opening up slowly. So I would anticipate it's going to be, Q4, Q1 of next year. I would assume maybe a little bit sooner because they have been doing a good job, but it's really, really hard to tell at this point. Fingers crossed, it's sooner than later, Len.
Yeah, they just opened up the Australia New Zealand bubble this week.
Just this week.
So it just opened between the two countries. So yeah, it's probably going to be late this year, early next year. Yeah. There was another question as well here. A person is saying, if I'm fully vaccinated with 2 shots, do I still have to quarantine upon my return? Unfortunately, the answer is yes. There's been no exemptions made. That I anticipate will change at some point, but at the moment, you must vaccinate. But now, you must quarantine. But the benefit to that is, if there is a benefit, you're going to have to do the 3-night hotel quarantine in Toronto. Assuming you've been vaccinated and the vaccine works, you're going to test negative because you're going to have a mandatory test when you land. And then you can go home and finish your quarantine there, rather than if you tested positive, you'd have to go to a government facility. It cost you more money. See if there's any other ones. Somebody, Dana, there was a question about Hola Sun holidays. We didn't mention it, but I'm assuming we didn't mention it because we haven't really received any information from Hola Sun.
No, Hola Sun's been a little quiet on the information front. They haven't been coming out with the same kind of flexible insurance that a lot of the other wholesalers have come out with. If you've got a specific Hola Sun booking that you want us to do some follow-up for you, please reach out. Absolutely. We can do some follow-up with them, but they've been pretty quiet over these last 14 months, and they haven't really been moving forward with early booking bonus discounts or some of this flexibility of some of the others. Not to say that it's not there. They just haven't been communicating it like some of the others.
And I noticed another one in there too, and Rob kind of alluded to it with when he talked about the groups. So whether it was a charter or a group, one of our custom groups that were scheduled for 2020, the majority of those were switched to 2021, which now we will be moving again. You will always receive communication regarding those. And specifically, we have always had our terms and conditions that if you want to continue to travel on that group, we don't want you to lose your space. You have the first right of refusal to hold your space. We would not ask for any additional funds until much closer to the departure, when we know for sure that those are going to be going at those new dates. You will notice that there are new dates on the website for some of our tours. We are working as well with some of the ones that we're going later this fall and converting those dates. And once those dates are moved, you will be receiving a letter that will either refund your money in whole or provide you with the ability to move your cabin to the new dates so you don't lose those. It's always, when you think about our client base, and when two families that have been in business almost combined, well over 123 years, we've got a lot of families and repeat clients, and we're gaining new value customers every day, and that continues to build and build and build. And a lot of these exclusive groups that we offer are limited, right? 50, 100, Emerald 132. That there's just no more space on this product to allow you to. So we've always made it our policy to go out to our own people first and to ensure that our clients are seeing these exclusive products first and giving you the first opportunity to join these as one of our customers. And that's hugely important for us. We had when all this went through, we did not offer any future travel credits. If the customer did not want to move their date and put on any of our own product, then we gave you a full refund and gave them full refunds. We didn't want to go down that liability rabbit hole and have all that hanging over our heads like the rest of Canada does. So that was a strategy we chose right from day one, and we've continued with that. Any further announcements, please watch for them in your email boxes, because we're already the third week of April, and some more decisions will be made before the end of May on some other product for the fall. Everything for 2022 has either been moved already or is going, and we're already working on 2023 as well.
So Scott, there's a few more questions in here. Question about what is the cancellation policy for the Emerald River Cruise? So the deposit rate now to book is $750 per person, non-refundable. We have been issuing insurance based on the $750, primarily because no more money is actually due until next April. So at this point, we're just covering through cancellation insurance, that's $750. And next year, once we start looking at flights and pre and posts and all of that, then it will be a matter of topping up the insurance. You may already have insurance on your credit card to cover you for that $750 deposit. And we've been finding that as well. So that is basically what we're looking for now in order to book the Emerald River Cruise. Are you providing any guidance to the government re the vaccine passports? We obviously aren't personally, but our governing bodies within Ontario and ACTA, which is a lobby group for the tourism industry, is definitely having conversations about the vaccine passports. Prime Minister Trudeau is not an advocate of the vaccine passport, so I'm not quite sure where that is going to go as we move forward. Me personally, I think the vaccine certificate should just be part of our passport, or it be accepted as just like our passport, because that's what we're going to need moving forward to get on the planes, to book into a hotel, to go to a concert, to jump on a cruise ship. I think that's just going to be the bare reality. That's my own personal view down the road, but I think time will tell as you know, all the countries kind of get together and try and decide what's the best way to roll out and what does that look like so that they'll all accept it. I think that's the magic, one of the magic questions right now.
Yeah, I think that vaccine passport is going to be a tough one for a while, because trying to figure out what's a valid document to prove that you've been vaccinated, because people are showing up with fake vaccine certificates and things like that now. So it's going to be a struggle, and dealing with different governments is always going to be difficult. Not to say it's not going to happen, but I don't see it happening for a year and a half, maybe. You know, governments don't work too quickly.
Exactly.
And as we continue to just look at maybe some of the last questions that may pop into the chat, it's almost 8 o'clock, so our time is getting short. We just wanted to remind everybody, here's how you can find us, and obviously the Blows and Stewart Travel Group. We're also using the BST Vacations as part of our tours, as well as our website. And quite frankly, some of the times it's just easier to say BST Vacations than it is to go through the whole formal. So I think it's great. And the next screen on there as well. I think there's one additional screen here just to show you. Yeah, some upcoming. So during the winter, we were pretty much every Wednesday hosting video talks and different product presentations. And we're moving now to not as regular, because as the weather gets nicer, people are a little bit busier. But we've got on the 28th, as mentioned before, the whole product launch on the BST Emerald River Cruise, as well as on the 12th, the Barcello Hotel Group with their hotels. And on May 19th, we've got a Azamara Cruise presentation. And Azamara just brought on a new ship, so they will have 4. Maximum capacity on each of those is 700. And like the majority of those cruise lines, when they get back in the water and able to cruise, they will be limiting. They will not be going out with full capacity. And the majority of those cruise lines have already announced that. For how long will that be? We don't know, sort of like the airline that Rob indicated earlier on middle seats. But we do know that depending on the cruise line, they are not going to maximum capacity, which is kind of cool. So guys, is there anything further in the chat that we can see that we haven't answered? By all means, if there's anything we've missed from the chat, we will go back in through it. And if it is, we will ensure that we communicate that with you. And my gosh, I know we had close to 100 individuals that had registered to participate tonight, and just want to say a huge thank you to everybody for joining us. And just a friendly reminder too, that although our retail stores may currently be closed to the public, between our independent contractors and our home office teams working efficiently from home, BST still has over 40 team members here and ready to assist you with all of your travel needs. And we you know, there's no silly question. And if you just want to know anything, feel free. And if you don't have a specific advisor because you take a different one each time, just email info@bstvacations.ca, and one of our advisors will certainly reach out to you ASAP.
Yeah.
So guys, anything else?
Nope.
Thanks, everybody.
I know.
All right.
Great night.
Thank
Well,
you
thank
for
you
joining
for
us.
joining us. We'll see
Have a
you
great
again
night.
soon.